Hello, my loves. Hello, how you doing? I'm doing reading for you, Universal Community Read. Um, when I started this read, every once in a while, depending on the deck I use, will tell a story. Okay? Now, we know we are tired of the story. Howbeit, more and more things come out in this story. And so today I must tell the story the way it is. Okay? Sorry about that. I must tell it the way that it is. Now, there is a warning here. The beings you're dealing with are literal. They think that they could take physical properties of things and chemically change the properties, and they're still going to work the same way. They've done this with certain artifacts and gems and ground them down, and then don't understand how come they don't work against certain beings. This is your warning. Do not tell them how any magical, any spiritual artifact works. If you do, you are going to be pushed to the side and given over to them. Do not give them any information. So in other words, say for example, they take a diamond and they want the diamond's essence, so they ground the diamond down. Not understanding you have to keep it in the form that it's in. Don't tell them that. Okay? This is not what happened. Similar though. And then they're trying to understand how come the shit don't work. I'm not saying nothing as to why it don't work. That's not for me to tell you. But if you know and you go and tell them why their shit doesn't work, you're going to catch their karma. And we're going to say, bye. You belong with them. Okay? Those of us that are teachers of the chosen, we're even more accountable. That is why I'm not giving details. That is why I'm not saying. I'm not here to teach them. I'm not here to help them. I'm not here to save them. They're not on my radar for that. Which means I don't feed them energy. Because I have enough things protecting me where I don't need to feed anything. Just the love that I'm giving. That's all that's required. So, I'm not going to tell them what would save them. I saw it in the cards last night. I'm not going to tell them what would save them. It showed it plain as day what would save them. They know what will save them. They don't want to do that though. Because they're going to ruin what they already have in place. It's already dying and falling off. Love is here. It's already dying and falling off. So your fake ass relationships are going to die and fall off because love is here. Love got trapped in this plane. You want to blame something, blame that other God that made itself God that ain't real God. Blame that. That's the one that set you up and fucked you up from the beginning from what it was doing. Ain't got shit to do with me. Let's get to the story, shall we? Okay. Welcome into my space. So glad you're here. Let's get started. So I am using the Kipper deck. But you know, if you watch me, I barely even use that deck. But the Kipper deck tells the story. So we're going to tell the story. We're going to be patient. I ain't got no tea. I should have some tea. I ought to have a buzzball sipping this thing. But that ain't tea. If it was long, I had a nice tea though. Just tease. I'm just teasing y'all. Okay. So, no, I ain't got no feel good in my system right now. But if this triggers you, stop. Take a moment. Okay? Take a break. Because this may trigger some of y'all. This may, I don't know how long this reading is going to be. Whatever is called in to clarify will be called in to clarify. Let's get to it. All right, so we got false person, privileged lady, main male, marriage. That's pretty it in the kid of caboodle. So there was a false person that was perpetrating as a privileged lady to this main male. The main male is your past male. Or this is the story. This is the story. Let's watch it from an outside observer, as if we're an outside observer, because that's how you can see what you need to see. So let's look at this as an outside observer to see the whole story. Not put our personal energy in it, not put our emotions in it. Let's do that, okay? So this false person pretended they were a privileged lady to this main male, and they got married. Official person, high honor, adjudication, sudden wealth. Okay, now, someone capitalized off of this marriage. That was fake. And let me explain why it was fake. It was fake because the party, the female party, was fake. She was not who she said she was. She did not have the power she said she had. She did not have the money she said she had. But she was promised money. This is what I know of the story. Okay? And if she's perpetrating as a privileged lady, clearly you're going for money. Come on, problem solve, people. Not all y'all Gen Zs and Gen Zers, you're going to problem solve up in this piece today. So if you ask me, how do I know? Because it's false person and then privileged lady. Right? You're having to pretend you have, which means you don't. Okay? Keep up with me now. So, use my Sherlock Holmes skills. So, this main man married her. Okay? Now, here's what I find funny. This is what I love. If you look at this card, okay, this marriage was supposed to happen to the main female, not the privileged lady. He is the main male, okay? But this is also the main female. This is also the one in the thoughts card. So all thoughts is on her. But you notice this is not the one your one ended up with. It was not you. Because you're the main character in the story. It was not you he ended up with. It was the fake one. Okay? So that shows you and tells you it was supposed to be you. But he wanted money too. So they formed a fake relationship. Because one person was fake. Now mind you, I said in the beginning, love is in this plane. And anything fake and any fake love is not going to be allowed. Keep that in mind. Okay, so this official person who knew of this relationship is in adjudication over this sudden wealth that they got for this relationship. So they're having to answer for why did they get money over this relationship. Well, you know, let's go back to Old England, shall we? And you know how they have dowries and they have, you know, you marry the cousin or you marry into money or you marry into that family that has money, which they perpetrated a lot back then, lied a lot. And that's why you married cousins, to keep the money in the family, right? Right. So this official person still practices and believes in that. And so there was an exchange of money for this marriage. That did not include you. But other people had plans for you and your energy. Couldn't be you because of your status, your race, whatever the reason. There was a prejudice. Let's just say there was a prejudice. And it couldn't be you. But somebody from the beginning made this a money contract. So love was made a money contract. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, why does money have to deal with the love piece? Because a money contract was made on false love. Not real love, false love. Well, that's what Hollywood does. Are you seeing the connection? You may not be associated with Hollywood and movies and music industry, but you were caught up in the same ritual that they do. You understand? Okay. All right. Follow me now. So there's concern, despair, bad health, coughing. Okay, so let's explain why. Why death is following these people. Let's explain. Because I'm connected to the tree of death. So let's explain. Okay? I'm connected to both. So let me explain. When you make a fake contract, who does this plane belong to? First of all. Okay, you have to understand who this plane belongs to. It was given to Satan by God. Very flawed version of God, but by God. It was given to Satan. The God who made himself, because there's more than one God in that Old Testament, which people don't understand, but the God who made himself and proclaimed this as his, did a lot of damage. Okay? It is not the loving one that walks with love. No, it is not. Love wouldn't be controlled by this God because love is its own entity. Okay? So love wouldn't be controlled by this God. It wouldn't be used by this God. This God didn't want to use love for good things. It wanted to use it for control because nothing is higher than love. I said love is the real God, not God is love. That is not the same. They're not synonymous. Love is the real God. Okay? Well, there was a God who made himself. Now, if you want to call it the demiurge, Sophia made that, all that kind of stuff. Okay? I'm not going to get into that. That's for a later time. So, when contracts are made, and they're not made by Satan, who this realm belongs to, hence why shit happens. But we're allowed to be here. We're allowed to be tempted. We're allowed to be tested. We're allowed to go through the shit. Everything, nothing is true, but everything is permitted. Come on now. Problem solved. So, they made a contract. And you know, Hollywood and the music industry deals with the devil, right? Sell the soul. The problem is, they left Satan out the contract. If you listen to who they follow Baphomet, Beelzebub, Lucifer. Not one of those is Satan. Lucifer's not Satan. Not one of those is Satan. Okay? Satan is a title like God, but not one of them is Satan. You don't make the deal and the contract with the person, the being you're supposed to make the contracts with, they're fucking fake. They're not real, which means they're not binding. And since love is trapped here, there are beings that you praying to that are trapped here that you don't know are watching you. And I'm not going to say anything of where Satan is. I ain't going to say. But it knows. It is not happy. And it screwed up the balance. Because one thing Satan does do is maintain the balance. I told you, Satan used to go to God and tell God who was wayward. Y'all think you know Satan. You don't fucking know Satan. You just blaming a being because the church said so. No, you don't fucking know Satan like that. Unless you had a personal experience, you don't fucking know Satan like that. And even if you did, it's going to be the way you perceive him to be. Like any other God and any other being. If that's how you perceive them to be, that's how they're going to show up for you. Because you're the one manifesting this. This is your film of what you can perceive. That's what shows up. Okay? Another conversation for another time. But do you see how deep, like, it's like a dendrite. And the dendrites in the brain, okay, so if you know what a dendrite is, that's the nerve ending for a neuron. And you see how they stick up. And they point to other ones. And the connection continues and goes into that particular neuron and that axon, axon potential, that potential that shoots down the neuron link. I told you I love science, especially the brain. I love science. So it never ends. And neurons can recreate themselves, regrow, and all that kind of stuff. It never ends. That's kind of how the spiritual realm and the shit works. It never ends. It fires off somewhere else, hits another one, okay? Action potential shoots down the neuron. And at the other end, there's another one. Okay? And it shoots somewhere else. Same thing. So, let me go back. So when you make a contract with a being that you're not supposed to make a contract with, it's not binding and it's fake. And it's a matter of time before it crumbles. And the funny thing is they want to blame all these chosens for this crumbling. Yes, we're responsible, but not the way you think. We're only responsible because we're real. And anytime something real exists, where it needs to, in the space and in the energy and the frequency, whatever is fake is going to fall away. Newton's laws. To every action, there's a greater or equal reaction. Well, if you're real to the fake is going to crumble every time. That's a scientific thing. So, it's crumbling. They didn't make it with Satan. There's a lot of mistakes they made. So now someone is sick and dying because souls have to be collected because they fucked up the contracts. You did your contracts wrong. With the wrong beings. Not even with the most powerful ones. I said they're literal. So, this is why this is important. Expectation. Thought. And you see her. She's the main. Thought. Child. And journey. Let me explain why. About the child. Do you know who the child is? I can't tell you. I can tell you. But if I told you, you'd be like, what? This is one person's story and we're all a part of it? Yeah. Yeah. This is Jesus' daughter's story that we're living in. Christ to Christ. Passed down. It doesn't go, the succession goes to the next one born. And there are groups of people that didn't want that because they already had one Christ. They didn't want another. And if they did, they wanted to either control it or be it, which they can be neither because they're not in the bloodline. And many of you who was put in this fake ass contract, not necessarily part of the bloodline, but part of the chosen story. You have a play in the chosen story. And because you're chosen in this gold star seed, whatever, because you're part of the story and you help this being, because that's what you're here to do, to help everyone else in this being and teach love, you get it like this Christ. You go through the same thing as this Christ. This Christ has to know what it means to be human and learn humans. It has to know. But see, some believed and some didn't. Some believe she was here and some didn't believe she was here. Some think that it's going to be her father coming back instead of him coming through her. There's no reason for him to come back. He'll be back, but it'll be the essence and the frequency and the energy. So the child is the one with the legacy. That's who the story is about. Now, in the aspect of your life, because she's going through the story bigger than you, and you're going through the story in a minor way. Even though it feels major, you're going through the story in the minor way. Okay? But this is about the Christ child. So, and we're a part of the story, and we're seeing our parts of the story. And we're seeing us go through the same thing this Christ child is going through. Okay? Now, with that being said, the child is important, including your inner, because the child who inherits and receives because it's the most innocent. Hence why they've been trying to kill your innocence. So it can't be like really trying to dictate who the Christ. You can't fucking dictate. The bloodline dictates. Duh. So the thought and the expectation was for the child to journey community, courtship, great fortune, change. Okay. The expectation was the community. You know who the community is. You know it's them and their fucking cronies and shit. You already know that the child was going to be given to, found out by, discovered by, imagined by, falsely created in the clone by, falsely put in an AI by them. No, it is a living, breathing being in bio suit. No, with her own consciousness, her own thoughts, walking it like you. No, she don't want shit to do with your community. See, what they don't understand is they have shown their shit to her. They have shitted in front of her, plopped it on the ground, and then try to shove her face in. Why the fuck would she want to belong to you? And it's not our fault that you didn't know who you was fucking around. That the Christ has seen you firsthand. Not our problem. Not our fault. Shouldn't have done shit. So she's seen, she's experienced them. They know. That's why they were testing babies when y'all were born. To see who the chosen was and to find her. She knows. She knows. She sees. So no, she don't want shit to do with them. She knows about them. She knows how well they are. And she knows not to let them have it. So they thought that they were going to get a hold of her, put her in a fake-ass relationship to destroy her and take her fortune. But that's the other thing. They think the fortune is money. Yes, and I'm going to leave it like that. None of your fucking business what it is. But that changed. Gift. Pathway. Imprisonment. Family room. Okay, now. What they also don't understand is things work both ways. This gift was the pathway to imprisonment. That is what you guys walked through. You being imprisoned for your gifts. But they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So you got released. They didn't do it right. So you got released. You dig what I'm saying? Sorry about that. You dig what I'm saying? Your gift was going to cause you to be imprisoned. It ended up being their gift of imprisonment. Because your gifts can't be imprisoned. Your gifts are wholly given or darkly given. Or both. For a purpose of why you need to be here. You want to know why so many dark beings are here and why so many shadow beings are doing good work? Because they threw the balance off to favor the shadow. So you got to have shadow workers come in and rear it back because they know how. If you were truly just light, you don't know how to deal with that shadow like that. Shadow workers have to do that. That's why they're needed. I told you, you don't understand the dark. You don't understand evil, and you don't understand how that shit works. There is a balance. And even though there are people working energies and people want to sit up, oh, the evil is this, you don't fucking know. You don't even know how this shit will balance out for you so you can stay light and not go over there. Because some of these darker beings make sure your ass never ends up over there because they don't want you over there because of your light. But you gonna sit up and shit on them and when you don't fucking know. You don't know how it works. A lot of you think you know how it works. You don't know how it fucking works. And you're talking about things you have no right to talk about. Know before you speak. Or you're gonna look stupid. Even to the spirit realm. I love you. But I'm not going to let you lie on beings that don't need to be lied upon. Not at this time. Now, later on, they will probably change back to what they're doing. But while the balance is off, They're helping to restore it like everyone else. Because only then we can have stasis. Only then we can have peace. And we haven't had peace for over 10,000 motherfucking years. And we're tired and we want peace. Been a lot longer than that. Unexpected income. They were going to try to hold you prisoner for this unexpected income. Mature man. Because that was your gifts were going to bring to them. And I'm going to explain this to you. And I'm going to explain why. Measures of concern. Message. Whew, it's an important message. Okay, let me explain something to you. Have you not noticed what your energy brings people when you're around? Have you not noticed that? Have you not noticed that people gain when you're around? And when you leave, your energy lingers, they'll still gain. But if you stay away, they'll lose. Now, some pick up on that and try to hoard you, try to keep you prisoner. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your gift. They want to imprison you because you bring good to people. You bring blessings to people. It may not show up for you, but it does show up for other people. That's one of the gifts you have. Your love and your light brings blessings. That's another thing that the chosen are here to do. During this time, you're going to find out what the chosen are really here to do. You're going to find out what you're really here to do. And some of you are going to find out you're here doing more than one thing. Okay? Because you're meant to. During this time between March and April, you're going to start finding out. All the way to June. Your thing is going to become, your path is going to become clear, Your path's going to become clear. What you got to do is going to start becoming clear. Some of you are already seeing it. Some of you are already seeing the pebbles being dropped. The stones coming up out of the water for you to step. Oh, this is the next step. And it's being said to you in plain paper on that stone. This is your next step. Because it was hidden from you. So you won't be confused anymore. It's going to start showing up for you. People are going to start seeing and feeling you because they hid you so no one would know you. Knowing your energy was way too big. So, of course, they had to put out lies so no one would question, so no one would get close enough. This is why you isolate people. Oh, yeah, I'm going in. I told you I'm going in. I'm going to explain it to you. This is why they isolate people. They isolate you, and the narcissist isolates you. So you won't listen to anyone else but them. So you will have no one else, no other lifeline, but to go back to them, for them to tell you what to do, for you to believe them, and that they only have the answer for you. You're not fucking us. So how the fuck you have the answer for us? But a lot of you, and don't be mad and angry at yourself, okay? But a lot of you are angry with yourself because you listened, because you thought they loved you. Baby, if you didn't learn the lesson, you'll be doing it again. So don't be mad at yourself for having to learn the fucking lesson and what it looks like. You're probably going to learn it 3 more times with 3 different other people so that you understand. Or with the same person. This is for those of you that keep going back and feeling bad that you stood up for your fucking self. So you keep going back. Then you wonder why you have the lesson. You have the lesson because you keep going back. Stop fucking going back. What are you guilty for? Why are you guilty for choosing you? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Why are you guilty for choosing you? Why are you guilty for learning the lesson? You're not fucking guilty for learning the lesson. You had to learn the lesson so you could do what? See you. And what you do, so you stop doing it. Are you following me? So a narcissist had to come in to do this. You were their lesson and their catalyst. They were yours. That's all this is. This is how this works. As they say, it's nothing personal, just business. But for some of us, it is personal, especially the chosen and the star seeds and the indigo children, because you have beings that follow this fake ass God that was putting shit on you. But we just think it's God giving us a lesson, so we continue to follow. No, what we were fucking doing was feeding the reincarnation loop. That's what we were doing. No, that's why we're back here. No. And this will be the last time. So, unexpected income of this mature man is a message of concern. Some of you have monies you don't even know about. And they're concerned that you know that you'll find out and that you'll get it. The question is why? Because they're afraid you're going to use your resources like they use theirs when we don't give a fuck about them like that. We use ours to build. We're not going to focus on you. Then that's giving you energy. Duh. And this is what you don't understand. The more you perseverate on these fucking people and these fucking groups, you give them energy. They don't even have to step in your energy. You keep giving them fucking energy. Stop giving them energy. Stop thinking about them. You get your protections up. To get your protections up, you don't have to think about your enemy. You just get your fucking protections up. You know that there's a shadow over here. What? Okay, keep your ass over here. And every time you flash yourself, I'm going to flash my motherfucking light. Bye. They're not a thought. They're not a thought. And yes, this unexpected income is yours. No, they can't fucking have it. No. And do they have to come back? Yes, they didn't do the work. They cheated again. They still have to fucking come back. They have to. We don't. Because we're not here to save them. This is the last time. So what does that tell you? Armageddon will be Armageddon, and that's going to be the end of it. And it will not be rebuilt again in another system. Not for an 8th system. No. Mature woman. No. No. They'll be stuck in this part. Not us. Wealthy man. Shyster. Distant horizon. Doing what? Doing what? Oh, you don't want to tell it? Oh, you gonna tell it. You gonna tell it. I don't care what you don't want to tell. You gonna tell it. You gonna tell it. And you know how we do this. House. I'm gonna say this right now, because for some of you this is literal. This mature woman and this wealthy man is still fighting over this house. For some of you. For others of you, our shit's no longer in the house. So what do we give a fuck if you have the house? Shit's been moved. What do we care? Can't tell you what, y'all. Can't tell you what. But I know whose story this is, so. All right. And we're all a part of it, so. Anyway. Courthouse. Occupation. Sorry. Occupation. Interesting. Now, that could be someone in and out of prison. Lovers. Poverty. Baby. Okay. Now, is either talking about these two lovers who are fake, the mature woman and wealthy man, or is talking about the ones in the very beginning, the fake one, the fake person and the main male. Either way, these are going to be seasonal prisoners. Because courthouse is their occupation. These are seasonal prisoners. These are not lawyers. These are seasonal prisoners. And these are lovers. So it's going to be one of these fake ass relationships. But one of the persons does love them. So the love is real. They just got together fake. The love is real by one person. For some of these relationships. Some. Like they grown to love the person. For some of them, none. But in poverty, what money can you make in jail? We ain't gonna talk about other things. We ain't gonna talk about that. So that's none of my business, and I don't walk in that realm. So thief. Told you, because one was a thief. Fake. But both of them are thief. You know why both of them are thief? Because they both try to steal from you. The one that got with the main male tried to steal from him and be a kept woman. The main male is the one that the main male and his mother is the one with the mature woman is the one with the idea to steal from you. All of them are thieves. There's no honor among thieves. Hence why I say no one wants to be number two. So you let these motherfuckers fight amongst themselves because no one wants to be number two. Rothschild ain't gonna sit down and be number two to nobody. You think these other groups are gonna allow someone else to come in? You think the Grandmaster is gonna sit up there and be number two to somebody? No. He'll kill your ass before. Please. Nobody in these groups wants to be number two, and everyone's waiting for their number one spot. Everyone's waiting for the number one headband. When the number one headband belongs to Sarah, the Christ child. Belongs to Sophia. Doesn't belong to no masculine energy, because only the divine feminine can fix this. Because the masculine messed it up. So the divine feminine has to fix it. And that's why a lot of you chosens that's going through this, and males are going through this. Males are going through this. Don't get me wrong. But males and men are going through this. But it's the feminine energy, even within the male, that has to fix it. It's the one who understands and having to be stoic and walk away. That's not necessarily a male trait. Okay? So it's the divine feminine that's going to fix this. They know this. They're pissed off because it is. Because all they see is glory and praise and who's going to follow X, Y, and Z. You understand what I'm saying? Not nobody. Not fucking nobody. So, child, the bull, like just the bull, you know? Just the fucking bull. So anyway, main female, toil and labor. Now, you are not the main female anymore. Remember when I showed you that picture at the beginning of who it was supposed to be? Right? So let me explain. The energies have been playing tricks. Okay? And since this person replaced you as the main feminine, you're not the main feminine. The thief is the main feminine. The false person that was privileged, they're not privileged anymore. And they're now the main part of the story. And they have toil and labor as an occupation. Why? They took your place. You're no longer in the story. But not only that, a lot of us, our person chose someone else after us. Not who they're married to, not who they're connected with. They chose someone else after us. Which means they remove themselves from your energy permanently because they chose someone else. So now they can't reach you. They're not in your energy. They got locked out because they chose someone else that they truly love. I know, I'm that bitch. I know. All capital letters. Thank you. Yeah. They're out of your energy. So now that they're out of your energy, you're not a part of the story. The only part that you now play was you being that child who they were stealing from since you were a child. But you're not in the story. Some of you are going to notice if you're a card reader and as you're doing these cards, the story now is about the whole story. That's why I said the Christ child showed up and you're just a part of the story. But the story is her story. And they're furious there's a new Christ. And they hid it from you. So you wouldn't follow the Christ child. You'd follow the churches and their groups. Knowing the whole time, she's been here since the 1970s. They knew this. And that's why you saw some of the crackdowns on these churches and these groups. That came out of left field. That didn't make any fucking sense. When you pay attention to the signs and the trends and the patterns, you'll see. Okay. So, maximize. Isolation is my Zen Tarot. New vision. Intensity. Moment to moment. This is how you're moving, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. You were in isolation. You were helping keep yourself there. And this is something I want you to understand. Yes, these people came after you. And yes, they did shit to you. But you were also keeping yourself there. You understand? You were also keeping yourself in isolation by listening. But it's nothing. It's not a guilt thing. This is not a guilt thing. This is a learning thing. Understand. You are here on this plane to learn. You did not remember. You are starting to remember. And it's dangerous for them that you are remembering. Your teachers are remembering first. You were in isolation. You kept yourself locked off. The reason why this is important, I told you, love is in this plane. Love is here. In a form. And so love is trying to find you and be given to you. And some of you are like, nope, I don't want it. It wasn't love that did this shit to you. It was not love that did this shit to you. It was other beings and other people that did this shit to you. But it was not love that did this shit to you. Don't be hating on love. You don't know love enough to hate on it. Love is what brings you your lessons. Love is what shows you you. Love is what gives you understanding. And it helps you understand other people. And it leads you to compassion. What they talk about in the Bible as love, that's compassion. Love is the dirty, gritty, doing the work. Okay? But because of this isolation, you have a new vision. You see it differently. That's how we're moving. It's seen differently now. It's seen as a lesson. Not just something personal. It's seen as a lesson. And it has a new intensity. A vibrancy. This knowing has an intensity. And it's teaching you to live in the moments. That's what matters. Moment to moment. Not day to day. Not hour to hour. Moment to moment. Because that's what exists. Just a moment. And that's what you can handle. That's what you can deal with. Is a moment. Because that's what exists at the time. When you live in the moment, it's not as easy for you to get caught up in the money. It's not as easy for you to get caught up in the desire and the want. That's not necessary. Because in a moment you understand that's all that exists in that time. And you will lose it if you don't capitalize on it. You will lose it. So it's precious. It's more precious than money that you can get. That you can never get again. Money you can. Time you cannot. Time with that person you cannot. Time you should have spent and now that person is gone. You can never get it again. That is what is the most valuable and the most precious, because that is rooted in love. That is real. It's either a real lesson or real love, but either way, it's real for you to learn. It feels real to you, then it's real. If it feels fake to you, then it's not. I told you, again, it all goes back to what you manifest. What you believe, what you perceive to be is what you manifest. And that's why everything is possible, because everything has to be possible, because we can imagine all kind of things. So everything has to be possible and accessible. It's a choice that they swear you don't have, but you do. And they try to take that fucking choice. You don't let them take that choice. That's what you have. Your will and your choice. They want you to believe. The next thing that they want you to believe, next to Satan not existing, the next big one is that you don't have a fucking choice. Yes, you do. That don't mean you're going to like the consequences. That don't mean you're going to like the results. It could be death. It could be loss of a limb. It could be saving someone's life at the expense of your own. But there is a choice. And some people say, well, if you're part of a gang, you ain't got a choice. Yes, you do. You just don't like what the consequences are. You decide not to do that. Keep it real. I didn't say the consequences and the choices were great. And I didn't say the end results of them were great. For many of us, they cost us. Even now, we're still doing work. You notice it costs. The Creator, I can't make this shit up. Oh, come on, Zen cards, come through. Understanding. Okay. Now that you got that intensity and you see that you need to live moment by moment, you see you are the creator of your reality and your universe. Yes, this is the Christ story. But you're a part of it. Just like the people back then when my father walked, you were a part of it. Now you're a part of it. You've always been a part of it. Your story is just as important because you're a part of the crowd. And this time, we get the chance to say no. This time, we get to stand up and be like, you will not hurt that one. Put them down. You touch them, you touch us. That's what it's looking for. That's what it's wondering, are we going to do this time? Because this time, there's no third choice. There's no third chance. This is the last chance. Will you stand up for the Christ this time? Or are you going to do the same thing? And let me tell you something, Chosen. If we don't stand up, even if outnumbered this time, or we get it worse than everyone else, because we're sent here to stand up this time. Because the Father does not want to see its child go through what it went through. You think you know our Father. Let him witness that. He ain't the same as his. Quite different energy. You get an understanding being that creator, knowing you create your moments. You get an understanding. You get an understanding that there's nothing for you to follow, that you are it. You are the creator. You are the one deciding. There may be energy above you. That doesn't mean anything. You're the one creating here. Why? Because this plane was given to Satan. So you got to create yourself. What you think? Satan going to fucking give to you? No. Satan ain't going to give to you. What you're given is what you're given until you're birthed into this plane. Which is a goddamn thing. Don't you come in here naked? By yourself through something? What did it give you? So doesn't that mean that you have to get it yourself? You have to fend for yourself. You got to fight for yourself. There's every person for themselves here. But we understand, those of us that are chosen in starseeds, we came back because we understood they need to learn love to be able to even get through this, because this is a fucking hellhole. This is a learning scape, but it's a hellhole with carcasses and shit all over the place. that we're walking on and calling them mountains, calling it the ground, calling them hills. Those are dragons and shit, giants and shit. They didn't just disappear because magical humans showed up one fucking day. Be real. What they did was they isolated you into thinking that you were something super fucking spectacular, which you are, but so are other things. And thinking, making you believe what you say goes. Who the fuck is you? You a fucking human in a biosuit who can get taken out like that, just like an alien in a fucking biosuit when you get through that fucking exoskeleton. They can be taken out like that. So how special are you? You understand? I love you. That's what I'm telling you. Now, you have letting go and rebirth. I can't make it up. No more to say it. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. Okay, let's go through the cycle. It said isolation. You come here alone, but through your situation, you were made to be alone. I want to make sure this is right for you to understand. You were put in isolation. You were put alone, hermit, right? New vision. New vision. New way of seeing things. New purpose. Intensity. Okay? In learning what you've learned, you as the empath, you become intense. You remember the lessons. You remember what you walk through. And it's intense for you because it's your lesson and your emotions that you are working through. You start to understand in sitting with yourself in your isolation that time works in moment to moment. It is not chunked as my life, my journey. No, it is moment to moment makes up the journey. Moment to moment makes up the path. What I learned led me to here. What I picked up and I was a catalyst for and was a catalyst for me has led me to this point. So now why am I sitting in this space at this point? I realize I created this because of my vision and what I saw or didn't see, what I put my hand on and what I took my hand off of. And half of us took our hand off of it because we didn't understand we were manifesting. Until we paid attention one day. I wish I had that poop, and it showed up right then a couple of days later. And then we started to understand, hey, if I could start speaking stuff into my life, I don't need anyone else. I just need to love myself. Because then I'll love other people. Hey, I noticed the more I love, the more I get. The more I love and I give, the more fulfillment and peace I receive. Isn't that what a creator does? Just saying. With that, you have understanding. You understand you are free. You understand that this matrix does not have to be a prison. I can make it to what I want it to be, and I can leave at any time. I'm free to go at any time. You weren't seeing it this way. You were seeing it like this, like you had to stay in isolation. This card means it's someone that sees that there's an open cage, a Pavlov dog, but they don't leave. The one that leaves has the understanding that they can. Do you understand how important this is with the creator? You're creating with the understanding you are free. You are sovereign. You have the understanding. You're allowed to know the understanding. That's why you are getting the understanding of God. And that's a rare thing to be allowed to have at that level. But did you not do the work to also ascend to that level? See, I told you the fake one made itself because it ascended like an empath. It knew what to do. It got the code. And it stole it from the feminine energy. Takes two to create. And that's why Geminis are a threat. You let go. You let go, not just of your pain, your hardships, you let go of control over everything. And you can only do that when you get to your understanding. To understand, yes, I control my reality. This is made up of other people's realities also that I am connected to. But I create for myself. That includes I create my hardships for myself. I self-sabotage sometimes. I step in my own way because I don't feel worthy enough. And then what happens? You put yourself back in isolation. That's the fucking loop. And you go through isolation, new vision, intensity, moment to moment. Back to isolation, new vision, intensity, moment to moment. You repeat those 4 constantly in this plane until you understand you are the one creating it. Till you understand you are the one manifesting. Then you move to creator, understanding, and now you get stuck there. Because then when you get to understanding and the empath and those Sophia stages, but more than that, when you get to that understanding, then you start trying to look at the whole picture and you get even more confused. And you're like, where the fuck am I in this? I already went through those other 4. I know the isolation. I know the vision. I know the intensity. I know it's moment to moment. I am now the creator. You're now ascended. But you are always that. That's the thing you don't get. You were always that. That's what they made you forget. You were always that. And now that you got the understanding that you can join the other birds, what they didn't want you to know, what they didn't want you to remember. Knowing that you're the creator, you can let go. Because if something goes awry or something goes wrong, guess what? You can create. Does that make sense? Something goes missing, something is depleted, something is erased. You can write it right back in. And knowing that understanding, you don't need to grip control because you understand your control looks like this. It's not controlling. It's just flowing with what needs to be. You go from this, which is what they do, to this and rolling with it. Can you roll with it if you're like this? No, you can't. There's 2 motions. But this is like a wave of water, right? Right. So when you get to understanding, you understand there's nothing for me to control because I can change it at any moment. So I don't need to hold on to nothing. In fact, I need to let go so things can die off, so new things can be created and come in. I need to let things go so I know what does not work for my business and what does not work for me and who is not for me. Scariest space to be in, I know. I know when you get to a certain level, you're thinking, okay, good, I can rest. I've ascended, and you're looking around. You're like, this shit is foreign to me. I don't understand none of this. This is different. Where am I going? Where am I moving? I understand. My loves, this is the next part. You got to do this. And then move the hand. You got to let it do what it's going to do. Do you understand? You got to let it do what it's going to do. Whatever that is. You don't control everything. You don't control it all, except the thoughts you have, the right speech you have, and what you're going to manifest. That's what you control. But you don't control the timing. You don't control the how. You just control the want. And then after you let go, then rebirth. You're something else, something brand new, because you have a totally different level of understanding. You're rebirthed. Notice I didn't say reincarnated. That's the loop. No, You're rebirthed. Brand new. On that line. Playing your flute. Because you can. And you're protected. And I don't have to worry about it. Because I can create whatever I want to create. Isn't that something? Because I can create whatever I want to create. Notice how that Pied Piper is coming from that lion. Notice. You understand you can be any energy you want to be. That's a God. You can be any being, any substance, anything you want to be, because it's just energy. And if I'm on the same frequency, I can slip right on through, just like matter. Like a Shadowcat in the X-Men, who walked through walls. She know how to vibrate the same frequency of that and can go right through. Same thing with energy. Conduit. Same thing, loves. Same thing. I'm going to do one more final. See what's going to show me. And this is the Pop Art Tarot. Okay, I don't have to turn it upside down. Okay. I'm going to read upside down cards. But to see if there's any other information wants to give. But my loves, their story does not change. They do the same thing over and over again. This is why the music industry, the movie industry, and all that shit's falling apart. Because it was built on lies, abuse, and fake ass shit. And no system, no foundation can be built on fake and stand. No. Love doesn't allow that. And nothing's more powerful than love. Success. Ace of Swords. Success. Attraction to the meaningful. Open discussions. Intellectual work. Okay. What is this? This is the... What's the number? I can't even see the number, y'all. Intellectual work. I'm about to see. That's a pinnacle. I have to see what pinnacle that is. I think that is a page. Is that page a pinnacle? I think that's a page. Okay. You have 9 of Swords, instability. That's that guilt. Don't you feel guilty over this shit. Don't you feel guilty. They will, though. 3 of Wands. I don't read upside down. Foresight. 3 of Wands, foresight. Seeing ahead. I like how they put that. Your success is coming. You just don't know what it's looking like. And you're getting frustrated. What I tell you about letting go and rebirth. Let go and rebirth. You're in the creator's seat now. You have understanding. Let go. Do the work. Trust is going to work because it's going to work. You don't have to see the how. You know, use the manifestation rules. Use the rules of manifestation to let go and move forward at this time. Okay? You got to use the rules of manifestation. Stop trying to control it. If you try to control it too much, what you build is going to be shit. Especially if you're confused at this time. Especially if you're confused. Bring your certainty in slowly. Let it come in as it's coming in. 8 of Cups. Follow your path. I can't make it up. Follow your path. Follow your path. What I say. You got the foresight. Make it happen. Courage. Have the courage to make it happen. Today, right now. These last ones I'm going to take. Charisma. You got it. You got it. Division. Abundance. Yeah, love, you're going to have to pull away from people. You're going to have to pull away from people that don't deserve to be around you. Or you're going to be defeated. Defeat. Five of Swords. Pull away. If you're building abundance and division, it ain't going to work. Don't build your shit with them in mind. Don't build your stuff with revenge in mind. Do not build your stuff with vengeance in mind. Do not do that. It will crumble. You're building on the same fake ass shit that they did. Don't do that. Don't do that. It will not last. Nor should it if it's built on a fake ass foundation. That's why all this shit out here is crumbling. It's a fake ass foundation that it wasn't fake when it started. Then they made it fake. And that's why it's the fire horse and everything is being burnt. I said I wasn't going to do no more. It ain't let me do no more. All right, my loves. I hope this helped. That's the story. Now you know why it's crumbling. Now you know why you had to walk through what you had to walk through. Now you know why and where you're walking toward, which is rebirth. And it's just waiting on you. It's just waiting on you. All right, my loves. I love you. Please take care. Please do not give up on yourself. Please don't. The turnaround is right there. The turnaround is right there. Okay? Do not move in fakeness. Do not build your abundance on fake. If anything, use them as an example as how not to build. If anything, use them in these groups and these hateful ass people how not to build your empire. That should be the #1 lesson. This is not how you build the fucking empire. All right, my loves.